A very good morning to all the esteemed colleagues and future leaders of the financial world. Today, we stand at the cusp of an evolution, not just in the way we manage numbers, but in how we manage relationships. As chartered accountants, we are not just custodians of financial integrity, but also architects of economic growth and trust. It's my privilege today to be the enabler for this webinar for professionals on behalf of the Professional Skill Enrichment Committee of ICAI. As the committee members of Coimbatore branch of ICAI, we are privileged to be the enablers for this webinar. Networking is the essence, is the art of building and nurturing professional relationship. It's about connecting, sharing, and growing together with peers, mentors, and prodigies. In a world that's rapidly changing, where the only constant is change itself, staying connected and relevant has never been more important. For chartered accountant, your network truly is your net worth. Today, we are going to discuss about this in detail, and we have the former past chairperson of the Doha chapter of ICAI, CA Nirlab Bhatt, joining us. Sir, on behalf of the Professional Skill Enrichment Committee and the Coimbatore branch, we welcome you and thank you for sparing your time to come and connect with our members today. May I now request CA Rahul Chandrasekhar, Vice Chairperson of the Coimbatore branch, to kindly introduce our speaker, CA Nirlab Bhatt.
Good morning, everyone. It is my pleasure to introduce one of the best speakers that we have available today, Mr.
Hello.
Hello. Sorry,
Yeah.
I got cut. Yeah, I'd like to introduce the best speaker, CA Nirlab Bhatt. He's a chartered accountant and law graduate with a diverse experience of 18 years in banking, infrastructure, trading, and FMCG sectors with reputed organizations in India and Qatar, and currently working as a group financial controller for a local conglomerate, Al Majid Jawad. He was privileged to be a part of the management committee of the Doha chapter of ICAI for 7 consecutive years. And under his leadership as the chairman of Doha chapter, the chapter won the first prize as the Best Overseas Chapter Award for 2021. ICAI Doha chapter has also seen several new milestones and initiatives in that year, including the first ever MOU between ICAI and Qatar Financial Center. He is a prolific orator and he carries a flair for written and oral communication and the best for the networking panel for us today. He has also been a speaker on professional topics for the largest private sector university, Amity University. He has also contributed professional articles to various magazines and journals. CA Nirlab is also a mentor for many students and professionals and guides them for career progression and on professional matters. Recently, he was featured in an extensive interview titled Charting Success with Nirlab Bhatt, Inspiring Financial Leader, which earned him appreciation and accolades. CA Nirlab is also a member of the Toastmasters International and also served as a club president of CA Toastmasters Club, area director, and also at division and district level, including chairman of the District Audit Committee of Qatar. Recently, he was the winner of the evaluation speech contest at division level, which has more than 450 members. He is a living testament to the quote, "Be the change you wish to see in the world." So thank you for sharing your time with us today, and please enrich our knowledge with yours.
Thank you for this warm and wonderful introduction, CA Rahul, Vice Chairman of Coimbatore branch, a very wonderful city. I also thank the entire managing committee of Coimbatore branch, not only CA Rahul, but also CA Survajit, for your opening remarks and for being enabler of this wonderful event, what we are going to see today. Thank you, PSEC also. I'll share my gratitude in the next slide, although in a formal way. So before I begin, am I audible correctly, Dr. Sambit? Thank you. So my profound gratitude to my parents. In particular, my mother also. I brought my mother's name because I want to correlate with Matushri, what we call in Hindi with Matrubhumi and Matru Sanstha. Okay, so my gratitude to my God, to God, to parents, Also gratitude to the Matribhumi. Although I'm living in Qatar since 15 years, we all are proud Indians. So that identity I proudly wear of being an Indian. And most importantly here, Matru Sanstha, which we sometimes often tend to forget, which is our alma mater, ICAI. So while our parents give us a birth, our Matru Sanstha gives us the identity to us. It gives us a professional identity, if I may say so. Okay. So in this context, my gratitude to ICI, my gratitude to ICI leadership, President CA Ranjit Kumar Agarwal, Vice President CA Charan Jyotsi Nanda, for envisioning this new initiative, this whole new committee this year. This is, if I remember correctly, this is just the second event of this committee. We had a session last week on public speaking by C. Hardiksha, and this is the second one. And of course, my deep thanks to committee chairman, CA Dr. Anuj Goyal sir, and vice chairperson, Sri S. Priya Kumar madam, for giving me the opportunity to share my knowledge, wisdom with all of you. So again, depending on this is a webcast. So depending on the location at where you are based at, my good morning, good afternoon to all of you. Based on my conversation, I think apart from the chairman and the EXCOM managing committee of many branches in India, also chairman and managing committee members of overseas chapters are attending this event. So I thank all of you. I got confirmation to attend from at least 10 to 15 chapters out of 50 overseas chapters what we have currently. So my deep gratitude to you, especially despite the difficult time zone in which you were in. So thank you so much for that. Now, friends, this is the broad agenda on which we'll delve upon today. Introduction and background, then networking skill by different categories of chartered accountants. The core of this whole session is the interpersonal skills which require in the networking. There are certain formal rules of networking which are time tested and proven to be correct. What are the barriers in networking? Then, of course, we are in digital era. So I will touch upon the e-networking and what we call netiquettes. Netiquettes is actually also, even it means that etiquette on the net, and it also means the etiquette in the networking. So because the net word is like that, certain do's and don'ts of networking are there. And of course, how networking can be done within the organization, within the profession, within the larger community by us chartered accountant. I'll also touch upon concept of group dynamics and a few other things. We'll have a little quotes also, a couple of quiz also, and finally conclusion. So I am expected to speak till around 12:50, 12:45. So, I'll take the time till then. In between, I've been told that there is a different mode in which you all can communicate. So any question, any feedback, any experience which you'd like to share, any disagreement, kindly feel free to share, and accordingly opportunity permits within the sequence of this, I'll take it, and I'll try to accommodate also in the future slides, or I will answer it. Thank you for that. Yeah, but let's, we all are, and I was told that there are nearly 1,000 chartered accountant has joined now. It's a great thing for me. So that's why, let's make it interactive, and please feel free to put on any relevant comment which you may feel so. So now let's understand the first concept, what we say, which is socializing, networking, and the listening. So now, what is the difference here, which we try to understand? First of all, we should be very clear that what are we trying to achieve over here? Socializing, what we do is always for the casual purpose, for the informal nature. It is always hobby or experience driven. So we socialize because a group of people are interested in cricket. We socialize with friends, with families, because we all are interested, let's say, in the drama, in some sort of art. That is the basic purpose of the socialization. And what socializing, what we achieve from socializing is quite different we achieve from networking and listening. These are the subtle differences, but we must understand it. Then only we can make our concepts clear. So by socializing, what we achieve? We achieve joy, we achieve fulfillment. We further strengthen our belief into our passion or hobby, which may have. We are gratified probably. It gives us some sort of sense of living. And because it's related to hobby, it makes it more creative also. Very important for chartered accountant. There's a perception that we are not creative. So it's very important for us. Networking all the way is more formal in nature. Here, what we are discussing is that networking between two individuals. I know there are networking guidelines also for firms and all, but I would like to make it very clear. We are not going to touch upon it. So here we are going to discuss the networking, which is much formal in nature. What we try to achieve by networking is career advancement, professional growth, expanding our horizons of our knowledge or our operation, professional divinities, and it is possible to quantify also. In fact, we must quantify it. Unless we quantify it, we don't know that what we are trying to achieve by way of networking. Then there are certain myths also about networking. And finally, the licensing. So we all know that there are in some companies, like being corporate, there are chief licensing officer, chief PR manager. Their job is quite different from networking. Although all these skills and ideas tend to overlap somewhere, but we need to be very clear in our purpose. Networking is always purpose driven, always done in a meaningful way, in a constructive way, in a systematic way. In licensing, two or more institutions are involved, probably, where the one who is doing licensing is trying to bridge the gap. For broader context, licensing or those who do licensing can also broker the deal. So we are not going to touch upon this, but for us, it's very important to understand this aspect. So let's stick to the networking, even if the skills will be overlapping. Now, this is one of the objectives of this whole professional skills enrichment committee. First is that the reality check, that where are we? So when the committee was formed, a little over a month back, so at that time, probably all the soft skills are identified, right from the public speaking, creativity, negotiation skill, networking, what we are into, time management, design thinking, then the critical thinking, planning and organizing, emotional intelligence, all these things. So over the course of year, you are expected to receive nuggets of wisdom on all these skills. But first idea for us to do the reality check, that where are we currently located? Where are we currently, doing about the networking? So are we doing the networking in a constructive manner? Do we know, in fact, that we are doing networking or not? That's also very important. We may be doing networking unknowingly or knowingly. We may be doing networking by design. We may be doing networking for short-term purpose only. But where the networking is leading us, do we know the systematic art or skill of doing the networking? A few concepts of networking. Have we ever applied in our professional life? And have we ever quantified the benefit of networking for the benefit of our firm or our enterprises or our career advancement? So there is a skill gap, which we all agree. And because there is a skill gap, that's why we all are here. These are all actually, friends, these are all soft skills, are all life skills. So unless even I continue to sharpen it over the course of period of the time, even it's likely that the skill will be dampened even for me. So it's very important to continuously sharpen it, even we are expert at any particular skill. So that's what I said, because the first task is to identify the skill gap. I'd like to tell one instance of one of my friends, a non-chartered accountant, but a very successful professional. So what he has done, he used to adopt the concept of one skill a year. And before, as a newer resolution, let's say, which we all do, before the year begin, he used to identify the skill in which he wants to excel. So let's say one particular year in 2023 or 4, let's say listening skill. So he will read 2 or 3 books on listening skills. He will attend, let's say, around 5 webinars or more during the course of the year for the listening skill. He will meet the people, like-minded people who also wants to improve listening skill and help one another. At the end of 6 months, he has the self-assessment tracker, what we call. We all like formats and the documents because we all do it for our clients, but we should always do it for ourselves also. We sometimes, friends, we are so busy in serving our clients and in helping our organization to grow, we ourselves forget to upskill. So that's very important. So he has that self-assessment tracker with him. At the end of 6 months, he identified that how much difference he has made to himself by improvising these skills. Over the next 6 months of that particular year, he used to identify how he is making impact to others, how he is making difference in others' life. And that I know concept or this practice, one skill a year, has proven to be very, very successful for him. And that has made a big difference in his professional endeavors. So, that's some sort of introspection we always require to do. Sometimes we are doing something, but if we jot down in a particular format as kind of self-assessment tracker, if we analyze ourselves for us, it is going to be of great help to us also. So this is what reality check. Now, this is the next slide. It is just a very big infographic. So these are all the elements which are impacted by the networking, or somewhere they are involved in the networking process. We all want to grow our career. We all want to achieve career advancement. We all want to expand our practice. We all want to delve into the new horizon of our practice. We all want to upskill also. We all want to hear there is an opportunity. We all want to leverage the opportunity also, right? Then that's where we have to use the networking skill. Then there is a concept which I will take in the next slide, context and connection. We have to understand the difference between context and connection. In our phone, we may have probably 3,000 contacts or even more, some of you, right? But are they all our connections? Do we even know who are these people and how we can help them and they can help us? Probably. Then there is meet and greet is one of the concept. Like, to give a small example, in any of the event, if the event is begin in evening, let's say at 6:30, normally we have the tendency to reach there at 6:30, if not late. In my view, we should always reach before any networking event starts, and we should always leave after any networking event is finished, because that's the real time. So we should reach there 30 minutes before the event starts. That's the real time when you can connect with the people. During the event, we may not have the possibility even to speak. And then we should leave after the event. We all want to strengthen our bonds with colleague. There should be one very important point here is that we all should have common interest. Networking is not one-way street. It always two ways. In fact, we'll touch upon later on. First concept in the networking is to give and then to take. But there cannot be only taking and giving. Then networking does not take place. So these are all the elements which I would like to touch upon briefly. Internet, of course, has changed the whole dynamics of networking, but it cannot replace and human connection will never be replaced. And also the business card. Here it is mentioned. Now it's very small thing. It seems a trivial things. But how often we have seen that we even forget to carry enough business cards. So if we meet, let's say 50 people, highly likely that last 10 people will not have an opportunity to exchange the business card. And we have to say, sorry, we don't have business card. So it seems it's a very small thing, but in fact, it is very important things. Now, this is what is an important slides there, that what are the stakeholders with which we are networking. So I've categorized them into the chartered accountants in practice. I believe majority of you are chartered accountants in industry, someone like me, chartered accountants, entrepreneurs, and newly qualified CA students, although there are not many students, but still. And by the way, we all are students, because once a chartered accountant is a student for the lifetime, right? So any other category you want to add also, you can please. I encourage you, all of you, to make this session interactive. Keep on giving feedback, which I will receive, and I will try to answer, or we'll touch upon in the next slides. Chartered accountant in practice. So you all know better than me because majority of you are in practice. Have you ever thought that which are the stakeholders or associates or the parties in our language, our parlance, with whom we are networking, right? We do network with clients, prospects, includes both existing and past clients also. Prospects, someone who can give us the lead. Then fellow practitioners, fellow associates, referrals, other professionals also, authorities and trade body. So all of you may be going to income tax department, tribunal, company law board, and regulators, by which I mean by authorities, chamber of commerce and industry. Some of the chartered accountants I have seen are serving in the voluntary capacity in some of the committees over there. Clubs and cultural association. Most of the chartered accountants have their roots into the social clubs, like Rotary Club in India, Giants Club, Lions Club. Okay, some of them, Toastmasters Club is also very popular now in India also, and voluntary groups. So this voluntary group, what do I mean by that? I have seen many chartered accountants helping community and even non-CS during COVID time. They have formed a group. They have helped hundreds of chartered accountants who were impacted by COVID. There are chartered accountants. Hello, my screen is visible? Hello. Yeah, 1 minute. Then.
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Yeah. Okay. So voluntary groups are there, chartered accountants who are coming together to help others for a special purpose. I've seen many chartered accountants mentoring the students, including CAs and non-CAs also, helping the downtrodden chartered accountants and other community. So we network there also, right? CS in industry, I had attended GLOPEC last year. So I got an opportunity, and which was attended by 4,500 chartered accountants from across India, and I believe from nearly 20 countries. So me and there were other 6-7 members. We flew from Qatar to Gandhinagar, by the way, which is my home state, Gujarat. You could have made out from the surname probably. So I'm from Gujarat. I did my chartered accountancy for that matter from Ahmedabad. And so I was there in Gandhinagar for 4 days, and I got a chance to meet many industry leaders, industry captains, I would say. So we interacted a lot. I attended ICI International Conference also in 2019 and earlier also. And of course, the big event like World Congress of Accountant, which was also a beautiful forum, wonderful forum. Peer within same sectors and domains. So if those who are in industry, let's say there is some of you are engaged with valuation professional group, valuation associators practitioners group, tax practitioner association. Okay, then there are internal auditors association or the groups. That's what I mean by peers within same domains. Recently, I had a chance to attend the one event where the professionals and seniors from retail sectors only were invited, because I am from that sector, broadly retail and FMCG and that kind of sector. So we discuss about the industry trends, we discuss about what we can learn from one another, how we can share the inputs, what are the challenges which this particular sector is facing. So it's very important for us to do it. Of course, CS in industry, most of the times wants hike, wants career advancement, want to switch over the job. So we also network with recruiters and headhunters, past colleagues and managers. We always try to network, I would say. We must, friends, we must network with them also, not to get anything, just to learn from each other, express our gratitude, thank them, help them. And for that matter, we should never spoil relationship with them. Relationship, I would not say it's the backbone of the networking. It is a very essential element due to which networking or the skills of networking are existing. So it is the heart of the networking. Networking cannot be done without fostering collaboration and the meaningful relationships. Newly qualified CAs and students. So when some of you may be newly qualified chartered accountants, so they can say that, They always used to network initially with the mentors or seniors of the profession to take the guidance about the career. Sometimes chartered accountants who were freshly qualified don't know that whether to go in practice, when to go in practice, or to pursue a path in industry only. That time it's very important to network with them. Executives from leading corporate, peer interaction, extremely important, especially for students. All of you will agree that larger share of our success should be attributed to the group in which we studied our chartered accountancy course and we passed it, right? Because we were surrounded by highly positive and resilient students and chartered accountants. That's why we all are successful. Student association, we know Vikasa and all. Student from other faculties also, we always network, especially new CS, with the students from CS, CMA, etc. Then, of course, many of the chartered accountants are in entrepreneurship nowadays, including into the startup. So there is always a startup mentor. In most of the time, he or she is always a chartered accountant. So network with them. They network also with the investors if it is not in the investment is not poured in by them only, right? And of course, with the trade associations and others. Diverse set of customers and service provider, they have to network. One thing, they have to also network with the regulators. So this whole slides gives that idea that why the networking is extremely important. And you look at the stakeholders with which we all are networking. You all may be knowing it, but have you ever thought that the gamut of networking is so wide for all of us? And that's why it's extremely important to learn the nuances and art of networking. As I touched upon briefly, this is on the context to connection. So we all have contacts. We may have in our case around, let's say, 500 business cards. In our phone book, we may have around 2,000 phone numbers, if not more nowadays. Do we even know? They are merely our contacts in the phone book. They are not even our acquaintances. Forget the connections. So how we move from context to connection? That's very important. For that, first thing, we should learn the art and skills of communication. We communicate with them, learn the skills and art of communication in a meaningful manner, in a purposeful manner. From communication, we move to the conversation. We converse with them. Now, can anyone tell me what is the difference between communication and conversation? So, let's try to think something on your own. And okay, if I will be having around, let's say, 2-3 answers, it would be fine. So by the time I speak, you can think of, put in the chat box, and even whenever convenient, Fayaz, you can transfer to me. Yeah. Then we move to the connections. This connection is very essential for us to network with either party, to leverage the opportunity to get maximum out of it. So that's where we move from context to connection, passing through the routes of communication and conversation, right? So if I don't receive the answer, then I will try to do it after a few minutes. But I would still encourage you to think, introspect, that what is the difference between communication and conversation? Very important for us to understand. Now, I don't want to, spend time and be silent and all this. It's not good. It will, distract the audience. You still answer, and then it is let's go further in this aspect. Yeah. So, Shiva, you will, Ayaz, you will transfer the answer if any comes to me, right? Ayaz? Okay, no problem. Yeah. Now, let's see some of the interpersonal skills, what we have to understand. What do we mean by interpersonal skill? Just excuse me a second. What do we mean by interpersonal skills? the skills which are essential to foster the collaboration, which are essential to build the relationship, which are extremely important to have the relationship with other party a long-lasting one. And interpersonal skills involves the emotions also, right? So that we will touch upon in a so I identified these 4 interpersonal skills which are even of more importance for the networking. Somewhere, if you are good in networking, it's highly likely that you will be successful in acquiring the skills, and it will be helpful to you in the career progression, professional advancement. Okay, so this is the thing. Apart from this listening, negotiation, emotional intelligence, sense of humor, there are also other skills like teamwork, team building, leadership. All these are interpersonal skills as well. Now let's touch upon the listening skill. So listening itself, as we know, involves the word silent into it, right? So when we listen, we should listen by remaining silent so as to give other person a room, because the letters in the word listen and silent are same, right? So we should do always the active listening. Now, how we can do the active listening? What do we mean by active listening? And what are few characteristics of the same? First is that listen also by way of non-verbal gestures. So if I'm listening to any one of you, sometime in between I nod my head. Nodding head is a sign that I'm deeply interested into the conversation. Kind of this, yeah. Then the eye contact, extremely important. So they say that, you should see eyeball to eyeball. हाँ, दूसरों की आंखों में आंखें डालकर बात करो. If I may call in Hindi, I hope I hope all of you will be understand if we say a couple of lines in Hindi. तो दूसरों की आंखों में डालकर बात करने से it gives a sense of confidence. It increases the level of trust and credibility. So they call it in the communication, this thing, it calls eyeball to eyeball talk. Always ask the open-ended question as against close-ended question. Close-ended question means it will lead you to answer like yes or no only. So it will not allow the other person to open up. But if it is a, sorry, if it is an open-ended question, what are the examples? So how you reached here early in time despite traffic? So to answer this, the other person has to open up and we have to listen him or her more, right? So this is the essence of the open-ended question. Then another question which begins from why. So any question which begins from why is also an open-ended question, right? So why you could not let's say succeed in chartered accountants. Some of us have been asked this question in the past, right? It's an open-ended question also. Listen completely and attentively. So here I have two quizzes for you, two questions for you, kind of, okay? That how we listen or whether we are listening completely and attentively or not. So intentionally, I have not kept it on the slides now because I want all of your undivided attention to this question, and please post your answer into the group. Okay. So there is a, first is that a brief question only. There is a person called Shyam. So Shyam was working in the vegetable. So see, I'm starting the question now. Afterwards, I'm not going to repeat. You have to listen completely to it and answer it, right? And I will go at reasonable speed. Shyam worked at the vegetable shop. Height of Shyam was 5.6. His waist was 36 inches. He works 10 hours a day and he earns 100 INR per day. What did he weigh? What did he weigh? This is my question. So you can answer in the chat box, and whatever answer comes, Ayaz, you can transfer to me or anyone from the tech team. But you should be able to answer within 5 seconds. All right. So I think this gives you an idea. Whatever answer comes, I will take it on later on, because we should not waste time also here. Another question is that, again, I'm not going to repeat. I'll go at a slower pace, so you have to listen it completely. If a black man marries a white girl and they have a black baby, what would be colors of baby's teeth? I'll wait for 5-10 seconds again, and you can pass on the answer to me. Don't hesitate to answer, even if it is wrong. We all are learning. All right. So let me answer right away now. I got a few in the comment box, or some of them are sending here also. Okay. Anyway, so the first question is, why listening is very important. Shyam worked at vegetable shop. I gave his height. Height was 5.6. Waist this. Worked 10 hours a day and earns 100 INR. What did he weigh? So I didn't. So there is one answer which is coming. Now I'm seeing. Yeah. Okay. All right. So I got some of the answer. Okay. So the answers were given to me 76. Many people started doing maths, 100 kg, 60 kg. Weight is not given, not mentioned. Then one of the very learned chartered accountant, I will name her later, she answered correctly. So all people started doing maths in short, okay, because they didn't listen. What I asked, what did he weigh? Correct. So I thank all of them who have answered correctly. And CA Subhashri from Bahrain, thank you, madam, for attending it. A very learned chartered accountant, but you and few others answered correctly that he was weighing vegetables. Other details are irrelevant, like, in a lighter manner, our problems in costing in the CA final, right? It's not important what details you are given sometimes, right? You have to stick to the core idea for which you have to solve the problem. So answer is vegetable, which is correct. Okay, now next question is that weight is not mentioned in the detail. Okay, it's not required to be mentioned. Another question is that if a black man marries a white girl, they have a black baby, what would be the color of the baby's teeth? So answer I got white color teeth. Then it was answered that white, always white, black and white. Some of you have answered black colored teeth also. I don't know how the teeth can be black colored. brown color teeth also. But the correct answer is that babies don't have teeth, right? So it's not important whether a man is black or white, a lady is black or white. And earlier, so this is the correct answer. Okay. So thank you for all very encouraging response to all this. I got many from the WhatsApp from this. And so the point we are trying to mention here now, let's back to the presentation. You have to listen completely and attentively. In the second question, even if we listen attentively and completely, it also signifies that you have to understand also completely what the other person is saying. And that's why only, I think only 20% of the answer were correct, right? Paraphrasing is important. So when somebody is speaking, let's say if I'm speaking that I am from Ahmedabad, the other person should say that, okay, you're from Ahmedabad. At some point of time in conversation, this is called paraphrasing. This fosters the bond in a closer manner and builds up the connection. Then they say that we always listen to react instantly. We don't listen to respond. So it's very important to listen to respond or to listen completely without any interruption. One of the arts which only few have mastered, I would say, listening is also called a best form of flattery, right? So they say that the one who listens you silently dominate you in the conversation. So that's all about active listening. 1 minute. Okay, now we'll touch upon briefly the negotiation style. I had an opportunity to conduct the session for the group of people on negotiation skills and the conflict resolution skill. Extremely important for us to understand. Chartered accountants are great negotiators, I know. Day in and day out, we all are negotiating. Just to give you one interesting example, who are the best negotiators? In my opinion, not only those who have mastered the art, but the kids are best negotiators. 3 years old kids, let's say, when they need something from us, when they need chocolate, let's say, okay, and we parents don't want to give to him or her, he will negotiate. He will, with all his body language, he will demonstrate that he needs the chocolate anyhow. He will cry. He will plead to us, he or she. Okay, he's negotiating with us, see? And we don't want to give. So what will happen? We'll give up that, okay, at least you have half or you have a smaller bar. And then he or she will be happy, hopefully. And then they will have it. So we lost some part. We didn't want to give initially, but we compromised. We gave him or her some part to make them happy. And they are also happy by having this is the very essence of the art of negotiating. That's where, since initial time, the negotiation starts. Now, why am I mentioning it? Is that we have to understand that some of the skills we are doing it, we are practicing it unconsciously. But when we do it consciously, when we do it time and again, we do it consistently, it makes a great difference to us in our professional endeavors, in our professional growth also, and in our net worth also, right? So this is very important for us to understand. And that's why I said that, I had attended one workshop also in my previous company on negotiation skills. And it was very, very well received. We were given 7 days workshop. It was on the negotiation. What are the skills? What are the styles? Practical scenarios and all these things. Those who are great in networking, they are definitely great negotiators. And we all are CAs. Most of you are chartered accountants. So you know that being a good negotiator, how it is helpful to you in your professional endeavors, right? So there are some negotiation styles in networking, I would say, yeah. Which are these negotiation styles and what is the essence of these negotiation styles that we have to understand fully?
Nirlak, may I?
Yeah, madam, it will be our honor, please. So let's welcome Vice Chairperson of this important committee and also Chairperson, Madam of SRSB, CS Priya Kumarji. Thank you, madam, for taking out your time. We know how busy you are. Please, madam.
My absolute pleasure. Here's a very, very hearty to everybody, and very, very small,
Ma'am,
warm
your
and a
voice,
very hearty welcome to.
yeah.
Is it better now?
Yeah, much better.
Is my voice better now?
Yes, madam, much better.
Okay. To all the viewers of this webinar, here's a very, very hearty welcome. And on behalf of the Professional Skills Enrichment Committee of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, it's our absolute pleasure, honor, and privilege to welcome Shri Nirlep Bhatt from Qatar. And I'm also very delighted to let you know that we have 1,500 participants on this webinar. My apologies for not being able to participate earlier because I'm at Bangalore at another program. And so I had to sort of, step out to be able to do this. And Nirlepji today speaks about networking skills. I think it's one of the most important skills that we as a community ought to develop, especially in the context that we're great at what we do in terms of our technical skills, knowledge of standards, etc. And I think it's only when we collaborate that we truly learn and grow. So with these few words, very, very thankful once again to Nirlepji for having agreed to be here today. And Nirlepji, your profile was read out.
Yes, madam. It was very warmly. I was very warmly introduced.
So he's super eminent, and one of the nicer things that I'd like to speak about Nirlepji is, as you are aware, this is a new committee that we've set up this year. And we are also in the process of writing an inception report for this committee. Because unlike the accounting standards or the auditing standards that we are extremely familiar with, we don't have a very high level of familiarity. Am I audible? Hello, am I audible? Okay. Unlike the usual technical aspects that we as an organization are very familiar with, we felt that the soft skills was something that's a bit new to us. So we've actually hired a very, very eminent consultant to help us to write an inception report on what this committee should do. And in the process, we've also set up a roundtable where Nirlepji has been a very consistent communicator. And whenever we've called him, he's sort of come on the virtual platform to, sort of build some kind of guidance on how this committee ought to function. So with these few words, and I'm sure you can hear the clattering of noises around at the other program I'm in, I once again extend a very warm and a very hearty welcome to all the participants in this webinar, and especially to Nirlepji. Thank you. Thank you very much. You may continue, Nirlep. Yeah, you may continue.
I don't know. Was it problem from my side? Apologies if that is the case.
Yeah. Thank you. You may continue, Nirlep, sir. I think you need to unmute. Yeah, can you speak?
Am I audible again? I think so.
Yeah, you may want to kind of reduce your video if you want, if you think there's a lag.
No, I think it is fine. I'm just looking at the number of slides. Yeah, okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, madam, for your words of wisdom, words of guidance. You have been of phenomenal support, not only support, but of guidance in leading this committee, along with, of course, the committee chairman, CA Dr. Anuj Goyal, sir. And despite you are in Bangalore, we all know how busy you are. You still have joined the meeting.
And again, big thanks to the Coimbatore team and a shout out for enabling this program as the event enablers. So thank you to the Coimbatore team as well. I can see Tangavel and nice to see you. Thanks.
Thank you, ma'am.
Hello. Hello, my screen is visible?
Yes, sir.
It's visible or not, I think. Yeah, okay, okay. Please confirm once you can see the screen. Huh? Hello. Is it visible now?
Yes, sir. It has just started screen sharing. We are yet to see the screen.
Yeah, okay, fine. I don't know what was the issue here. So these are the negotiation style: compete, accommodate, avoid, compromise, and collaborate. Okay, so we will briefly touch upon it. So compete means what? That I win, but you lose. So to any cost of, due to any cost, one party wants to win anyhow. That is the negotiation style, what we call by compete. And if any point of time, Ayaz, if I'm not audible, no, just inform me by WhatsApp or something. So this is called compete. Here, one party is only interested in winning at anyhow. Highly confrontational. So I will also explain in which scenario this is good, or this is what are the pitfalls, or which are the scenarios which are applicable to it. So compete means highly confrontational, involves a lot of emotions also. There is no long term, time is not available. It completely destroys the relationship as well as the reputation. So all this style you have to see self-assess in the context of the networking, that how being a good networker, let's say, if you can be a good negotiator. Yeah. Then accommodate. In this style, what we try to accommodate the other party. So it's say, I lose, but you win. Yeah. So here, when our position is really weak, somehow it also shows that we are losing. So we want to lose the battle to live to win the war. So if that is the ideal strategy, it is a good style. It also gives a sense to other parties that we are quite resourceful. We are ready to lose the money or the resources. So overall, not a very desirable negotiation style, but then each of these style is having its unique elements. So it's very important to understand. Actually, no style is perfect here, but in different scenario, which is the perfect, we have to understand. Then we say we completely avoid, right? So avoid is kind of lose-lose situation. I also lose and you also lose. See, nobody would like to lose. No parties like to lose. When there are high conflicts, when there are high emotions involved, when there is no understanding, when it is decided or it is concluded that it is very difficult to move ahead in negotiation with other party, the avoid style is adopted. Then what we say, compromise, which is near to the best one, I would say. Compromise means I win or lose some part and you also win or lose some part. So to give you a practical example, when the opening position is so high, okay, let's say I start from, let's say 30 and someone starts from the 100. So there is a wide gap between two ends, too wide gap in the positions. And then both the parties to reach the consensus that, let's say 60 is the ideal one. Okay. That is what we call by the compromising. Here, we try to avoid the conflict. We don't have, let's say, enough time like collaborator, but still, we still have some time to negotiate. So time is very essence of negotiation. This. And finally, collaboration, where we ensure the win-win situation. We continue to collaborate, we continue to discuss, continue to negotiate, continue to convince to other party by using all interpersonal skills so as to reach to the win-win situation. This is particular negotiation style is where high money are involved, right? Where the amount at stake is very high, we always try to ensure, and we should ensure win-win situation. When timing is of no use, let's say timing is of not of great essence. At that time also we should use the collaborate side so that both the parties are happy, relationship is further cemented, collaboration is fostered. So it's very important to understand this five. I just touched upon briefly. In real life, it's not as easy as it seems. There are a lot of factors which impacts the negotiation style, interpersonal skills, the body language, how you negotiate, some of the concepts of, let's say, Bartna and Zopa, which we'll just briefly touch upon, and so on and so forth. So, but this is the just, I have given you the snapshot. I've just touched upon the negotiation skills. And it's extremely important, as we all chartered accountants are negotiator, we all of us are conflict resolver. Day in and day out, we are seeing conflict. In fact, we are living in the world of full of conflicts, right? We all have conflicts between our stakeholders, sometimes between employee and boss, between our partners, between associate, between our staff. Negotiation skills and conflict resolution skills are inextricably related, and both go hand in hand. If you're a better negotiator, you are a better conflict resolver as well. So this is about negotiation style. There is also this is the concept, just two concepts I will discuss in negotiation style, what we call बांटना and Zopa. बांटना हिंदी में बांटना का मतलब नहीं है यहाँ, ऐसे it's not meant by the distribution. बांटना is the short form of best alternative to negotiated agreement. And Zopa, what we call, you can further Google it, because this session is not about negotiating, but it's very important to know other parties' position. When we can know the other party's position, so when we can win the deal in the networking, in the negotiation, only if we are a good networker. And that's why, friends, I've chosen to include this concept, just touch upon this concept of Batna and Zopa. You can note it down. Batna means best of available to negotiated agreement, best alternative to negotiated agreement. Zopa means zone of possible agreements. So I had conducted a session. I myself have learned, did some research on this also, and it's extremely important for us to understand. So let's say there are now quickly understand what is this with a real life example. So let's say there are two parties, or we have a Kishore and Ajay. Okay, so I've taken one example, and Ajay wants to sell his car to Kishore. Okay, Ajay identified he wants the car, he wants the selling price of the car, let's say 10 lakhs rupees. Whereas Kishore wants the car in only 5 lakhs rupees. So there are two parties here, two positions, initial positions, what we call, right? In 10 lakhs, Ajay wants to sell the car. In 5 lakhs, Kishore wants to buy the car. Correct? Now what happens? Kishore is a clever guy. He knows that price of the car on the internet is 7,50,000. This is very real life example. In a sense, we see it daily. Because he knows that buying price of the car is 7,50,000, he has chosen the car, his first position is 5 lakhs. Whereas Ajay has another buyer ready in 6 lakhs rupees. Right? So now these two things are called Batna. If the deal between Kishore and Ajay doesn't happen, then there are two other alternatives comes into play. Because Ajay can sell his car to the buyer right away in 6 lakhs, which is higher than 5 lakhs. Whereas Kishore will get the car cheaper than what is Ajay's position, cheaper than 10 lakhs, which is 7 lakhs 50,000. Right? So now what Kishore will try to do? Kishore knows that the price of the car, which I know from other sources, 7,50,000 from internet. He will throw his positions that I want to buy in 7 lakhs from you. So he will still gain, right? As against 5 lakhs, he's increasing his position to 7 lakh, but not more than 7,50,000, which is his partner. Correct? And Ajay can sell car to another buyer in 6 lakhs. He will say, okay, if you are ready to pay cash, let's say, right? We all chartered accountants know it. Ready to pay quickly. If car is in good condition, everything is there. I'll sell you in 6,500. 6 lakhs 50,000. Sorry. So the possible ZOPA here, zone of possible agreement, is between 6 lakhs 50,000 to 7 lakh. Right? That's where the negotiation will take place. Initial positions were 5 lakhs and 10 lakhs. But possible, then all party have reduced a bit. Somewhere they have compromised, but also to gain then the position which they know. So here the zone of possible agreement is between this, and that's how the deal will be concluded between this. Imagine if no ZOPA exists. Means that Kishore will say that, no, I will never pay more than 5 lakhs. Ajay will say, okay, I don't want any rupees less than 10 lakhs. What will happen? There is no ZOPA. The negotiation will not take place. Why it is important here? It is always extremely important to know other parties' partner. And you can know it only if you've done enough research, you are good in networking. So let's say if Kishore knows the Batna of Ajay, then he will be at great benefit, right? Correct? Similarly, if Ajay knows that Batna of Kishore initially is 7,50,000, he will know that even if that guy is asking only for 5 lakhs, is a throwaway price, I can still ask still for 7 lakhs 50,000. It's only those who are good in networking skill, those who are adept at interpersonal skills, they can only be a good negotiator. I've included this example. I've done some research. I've conducted workshop, and I myself have learned on this concept. Practical scenario, as we all know, is not as easy as it seems. But it's very important for us to understand the Batna of other party. In any negotiated deal, there are two parties. ZOPA will only be one, but Batna will be of two. And if you know, if you listen carefully, if you have emotional intelligence, which is next point, you can always know Batna of other, and you will be immensely benefited in any negotiation deal, any complicated negotiation deal as well. Right. Third interpersonal skills, what we say here is the emotional intelligence. You know, when I had chosen this chosen this topic, okay, I also had consulted informally some of my friends that what should I include? Because it's always good to include what audience like to hear, and rather from the points from which audience will be benefited in an immense manner. And most of them have said that the most important skills for them to understand is the emotional intelligence. So that's why not only this, but I included some of the points considering members' demand from the diverse spectrum I have chosen. I have considered, then only I have made my presentation so that it will have great value to all of you, right? So what is the emotional intelligence, right? So we all are intelligent, and that's why we all are chartered accountants. But are we emotionally intelligent also? Emotional intelligence means that you have the ability to understand and regulate and control the emotions of other party, right? We, in the audit concept, if I may tell so, we always say that what gets measured gets monitored and gets managed, right? What gets measured gets monitored, and then they can be managed. So if we measure, if we know the emotions of other party, if we know rather than how and what, the why behind the behavior of other party, yeah, that's what we call emotional intelligence. That why a particular person is behaving like this. Is it so that his or her emotional is driving him into it? It's very important for us to understand the behavior. There is a whole lot of concept, what we call behavioral finance, by the way, nowadays. a long back I attended one session on it. Was very interesting from a speaker from Kuwait. He was there, and great enriching session on behavioral finance. If you all are interested, you can learn this. You can Google it. There are ample resources available as well on the same topic on behavioral finance. In fact, they say that even your investment is driven not by any logic, but at the end of the day, by your perception, by your behaviors pattern, by what you believe to be correct. So empathy, and what is the difference between empathy and sympathy, by the way, right? Sympathy is that we feel about other person. But empathy is that we step into other person's shoes. We try to understand him or her. When I say about understanding, I asked one question earlier, that what is the difference between communication and conversation? This is the answer, friends. In communication, you adapt certain style of communication, you speak in a certain manner, you listen. But when you try to deeply understand the other person, it results into the conversation, deep engagement, and the heart-to-heart relationship, if we say. That is possible not only because of communication, but also because of conversation. So that's the difference between communication and conversation. In conversation, we like to understand the other party's emotions. Difference of opinion. So, when I was interviewed by that one UAE Times, they were asked about, one of the question was on this difference of opinion, that how you handle the difference of opinion. Okay, so it's very important for us to understand. So my takeaway on this is that we should always handle the difference of opinion in a sagacious manner, right? Make your critics your bosom friends. Now, there are two types of critics. One who genuinely are interested in you, and regardless of any bias, they want you to see succeed. They want you to improve. And in that way, they are giving you constructive criticism. Always consider them your bosom friends if you want to improve. Even if you don't like that person, no matter. Other are also that who are just criticizing you for the sake of criticizing, and don't take them on your head. So that's very important. And of course, the conflict resolution, as I said, that how we are able to handle the conflict is extremely important for us to understand. Yeah. So now let's move to the next. Very, very important. You may say close to my heart, a very novel concept. Last one I will just briefly touch upon is the sense of humor as an interpersonal skill. So let me read this out. A wonderful quote here. A keen sense of humor, the unbecoming, unpleasant, overcome the unexpected, and outlast the unbeaten. Right? A keen sense of humor helps us to overlook the unbecoming, understand the unconventional, tolerate the unpleasant, overcome the unexpected, and outlast. Very wonderful quotes. When you read this quote, probably it covers the entire thing what we want to say into this sense of humor. So I'll just share one personal example here. I was negotiating with somebody, discussing something with some party, and somehow I came to know his date of birth. Okay, see how the sense of humor helps us in breaking the ice. So I said that and we used to share, we share our birthdays. Okay, so I said to him that I know how it likes to be a Sagittarius, because we share our birthday. I told him in a very humorous manner. So he replied that, yeah, but I feel lucky because I'm the younger one. You see, instant humor, a sincere humor, a brief humor only, how it helps in breaking the ice. He felt lucky because he was younger than me. I felt lucky because I'm experienced than him, right? So it is very important to foster the sense of humor. In fact, if you analyze the job description of some of the top CFOs and CEOs, one of the skills they require is the sense of humor. They did some survey of 7,000 CEOs, and 98%, I have it in figure with me, 98% prefer the candidates with good sense of humor. 80% says that the people with good sense of humor are likely to stay longer with the organization, to work in a more productive manner. Only one caution here, the sense of humor should be brief one. And like in my case, what I explained to you, now if we, engage further, continue to do sense of humor, he say that I feel lucky, and then I can't, no, how you are lucky, I am the lucky one, so that it will not serve any purpose. A brief and sincere sense of humor, that's what all we like to say. One of the quote is there. They say that sense of humor is the part of art of leadership, of getting along with people, of getting things done. Imagine the people now around you, and I can assure you that those who are having a good sense of humor, a witty nature, are more likely to be successful. Yeah. So let's move to the next point now. Mhm. There are two rules of networking I will just touch upon. You can further Google about it also. Just let me see the timing. Okay, we have enough timing because a lot of people are asking or giving feedback on this. Yeah. Two rules of networking. One is the 6-degree separation rule. Okay, so what do we mean by the 6-degree separation rule is that the rule says that it proved to be correct is that you are just 6 degrees away from whomever person you like to meet in the world. So let's say if you aspire to meet one day our Honorable Prime Minister of India, as per this research, is just 6 degrees away, 6 connection away from you, right? If you aspire to meet Virat Kohli, if you aspire to meet any Bollywood, Amitabh Bachchan or somebody, they are just 6 degrees away from you. It holds true even for the global leader. And after this rules came, it was, researched also. It was challenged and contested also. And it proved to be correct also. So there is one beautiful quote in this regard. They say that if you have we used to read during our students' time, if you have 8 hours to chop a tree, please spare 6 hours in sharpening the axe. So in this context, if I may say so, what does it mean is that choose your connects very, very wisely rather than rushing into establish the connection and to meet the top level person, anybody, choose your link very, very wisely so that eventually, as per this research, you will definitely meet after 6 degrees, the person you aspire to meet. So if you aspire this, if you practice it consciously in your real life, believe me, how much big difference it can make in your professional endeavor, in your growth. Sometimes we hesitate to do networking, and sometimes we feel that other person is so far from us. How I can meet him, how I can converse with him, contact him. Okay, apply this 6-degree rule consciously. Choose your link very wisely and carefully, and I'm sure that you will be able to meet, because this is proved to be correct. You can Google about this also. It says that now how you choose your network. Identify the strength of your network here. Identify with whom you are likely to uh, connect, and that will lead you to the person you aspire to meet or contact. Okay, they say that it's a very powerful lens to understand the world, this 6-degree connection rule, to societal dynamics and foster inclusivity and collaboration. So I told you it is also true even for the global connection. If you aspire to meet UK Prime Minister also, let's say, with all sincerity, you can meet with this rule. It's a golden rule in networking. Please note it down, research about it, prepare yourself, and practice consciously in your endeavor. Yeah. Another rule which I will tell, 6-degree separations rule is one of them. 12 by 12 by rule. Now this is also very important. Okay, 12, 12, 12. So we always say that your first impression is your last impression. How you are looked from 12 feet away, right? How you approach someone from 12 inches away, and which 12 words you are going to speak determine how well you are going to network with that particular person. 12 feet away means that how you dressed up. You will be surprised to know many networking opportunity fails in that first rule itself. Maybe we are not dressed properly. When maybe we are not dressed according to the occasion, right? We should always have a professional attire. I'm not a body language expert or a grooming or branding expert for that matter, but this is the rule that we should look very professional. Even if you see that I proudly wear the CA, our new logo also, very important for all of us. So I sincerely advise you to wear it uh, with your clientele. Our brand ICI, Indian Chartered Accountant, should shine brighter. And these are little things through which it will shine brighter. So look good from 12 feet away, 12 inches away. We should immediately give our business card, right? We'll touch upon it later, but how we are look from 12 inches away, at any cost, avoid the bad smell, uh, maintain appropriate distance when you're approaching the person with opposite gender, especially in Indian context or our Asian context. It's very important. Don't forget your business card. This falls into the second rule. Okay, so 12 feet is covered, 12 inches are covered. Which 12 words you are going to speak? Greet them, him or her, and make your purpose very clear. Thank them in advance for their time, so they will engage with you in a better manner, right? Only 12 words will determine that whether you are going to strike a deal or not, believe me. And this is a potent rule. Again, one of the rules which has been proved correct across the countries, across the spectrum, across the deals. And as I told you, most networking fails around first or second 12 or something. You may not be dressed appropriate. The first impression is not good. Then you try to cover up by speaking good words. It will not work, right? So these are the two rules. There's a quotable quote, I would say, trivia. Very important for us to understand, and I would like to request your attention here. Especially, I know that a lot of chairman and managing committee members of Indian branches and the overseas chapters are attending it. Networking skill is not about just connecting people. It's about connecting people to people with ideas, and people with opportunities. Okay. If you connect only with the person for the sake of connecting, and the whole objective is only to connect with the person and to converse, it will not be for long term. If you connect the people with ideas. So there is one wonderful quote again which comes to my mind, that the low level people discuss the people, right? A medium level, mediocre people discuss the incident, but the great minds discuss the ideas and thoughts, right? So it will actually cover in the next slide, but somehow because it is related, I thought to mention it over here. What you discuss with other person is of extremely important. Okay, don't gossip, don't speak about bad, don't even discuss the people unless it is extremely good about him or her. So they say that's why they say the low mind discuss the only people. वो ऐसा था, ये ऐसी थी, इसने ये कहा, उसने ये कहा. No, avoid the loose talk at any cost, right? Medium level people discuss the incident. यहाँ ऐसा हुआ, वहाँ ऐसा हुआ था. Okay, fine, fair enough. But the great minds, intellectual people, like all chartered accountants, we all always should discuss ideas, how we can improve, how we can help. Why I told about the attention of these office bearers and managing committee members. Friends, leader's job is not only to connect with people. I was asked one question in my extensive interview recently. Okay, and I discussed with global audience. Leader's job is also to be a collaborator and facilitator for others. Great leaders, and that's why I request the attention of the managing committee members of branches and chapters. Great leaders always bring not only individuals, but institutions together. So, like in my introduction, they mentioned about the first ever MOU between ICI and the Qatar Financial Center. So it was the first ever MOU between these parties, first ever MOU by ICI in Qatar also. I was extremely privileged to have it conducted, have it done in 2021, which has benefited many chartered accountants who wants to set up the practice in Qatar. Afterwards, I was a speaker on the different forum that how to set up practice in Qatar, about the business environment in Qatar, how these MOUs of great value to the Indian chartered accountants, our Indian brothers. So by that, can I say that I have been instrumental, I would say, in bringing the institution together. Okay, we all are doing, all the managing committee members are doing great job. They all are our foreign brothers and sisters, chairman and committee members are always doing, involving Indian embassy, collaborating with Indian embassy, collaborating Indian embassy in Qatar or in any countries, collaborating with Chamber of Commerce and Industry, multiple stakeholders, okay, collaborating with other accounting bodies. That's how we all are bringing the institutions together. So that's a very wider vision I'm throwing at you, friends. Okay. If you're listening it, always don't limit yourself to bringing and be a collaborator between individuals, facilitator, but be facilitator between institution as well, foster the 360-degree collaboration. Yeah. One of the nuggets of wisdom. Now here, important for us to understand as we proceed further. And I again request you to keep on giving your views, feedbacks. I would welcome it. Any disagreement also. Normally we don't say it, but when I attended one session by Glenn Blanchard, on situational leadership, the speaker was from UK, and at that time, first time I hear that, please share your disagreement also, because these are all perspectives. What is not networking? Young generation friends have that, misconception that simply adding someone is on contact, they said, I am doing networking, I am doing it. It's not so easy, it's not so quick fix ideas. Simply adding someone on contacts or connected on social media. Nowadays, a lot of people are having, let's say, 5,000 followers on LinkedIn. And he or she may feel that I'm good at networking. I'm not telling they are not good at it, but they have to pass through the layers of networking skill before telling themselves that they are really good at it. They have to understand that having so many followers, where they are leading them, are they effectively translated into any business opportunity at any point of time? Are they contributed to growth of their career and profession or not? Or just for the sake of numbers they are there in it? So this is especially because of digital. If with somebody you share only basic information, these are mostly our acquaintances. It's not networking. Networking is an art. It should foster the collaboration. It should foster the deep engagement. Or network with them. Please understand. We have seen the casual, we have seen the socializing minute. We have seen the socializing, right? Always talking only casual conversation. So we all have friends. If any of us friends, we are talking only about cricket, only about movie, only about non-professional matter, about family friends. It's not networking. Although it helps us getting closer to each other, but it does not constitute to my growth of my firm. It does not help me in career advancement. It does not even help me in helping them, right? So that's very important. Consistency always counts. Meeting on interacting occasionally only is not networking. If you are, discussing with somebody occasionally only, is not networking. Only appreciation or validation. Now that's one of the pitfalls of social media. Okay, if you post something, of course everybody will do say good things about you only, and then we feel that they really feel so good about me, and I have achieved the networking. Yeah, I feel within me that I'm a good networker. No, it's not networking. It's just a validation of your skill. It's just they're just appreciating you. Maybe they're returning the favor because you are appreciating them in the past, right? So this is what we have to understand. There are also myths about networking. Also, there are two ends basically about networking. We are going into very candid discussion now. One of them is that some set of people believes that I don't need networking. No, I'm good enough. I've achieved what I want to achieve. I have a good set of team, a good set of people. I don't want to do show off, right? Means networking is not for me. What is this networking? I don't need to do it. I'm happy from what I achieved, right? Another set of people, they say they do only networking. right? They say that I'm doing networking and I'm adept at it. I'm good at meeting people. And or we sometimes give opinions about others that he's very good at networking. He's doing only networking. Yeah, we are so judgmental as a society, right? They don't know that behind this networking, what you see, intense hard work is there. That's why I'm telling you with sincere body language. There is an intense hard work sometimes behind someone who is doing networking. Networking is just what you see there. You don't see there that how far he or she has worked hard to reach there. So please, let's be realistic. Don't have this perception. Either of the perception about networking is not a bad thing. If someone is doing networking without harming others, this is very important. Do your networking. Don't cut, like we say, others' line. Magnify your presence. Increase your line. Increase your presence. Do networking. Help others. Do in a rightful manner. You're doing great service to the society, friends, actually. Right? So these are some of the barriers of networking and how to overcome it. Very important for us to understand. Introvert or shy personality. So how to overcome? Some people are introvert by nature. It's not bad. Can they network in a purposeful manner? Can they be adept at networking? Unfortunately, no. But with the practice, you can develop a confident and creative personality. I have one quote about being creative also. So they say that what is creativity, right? So creativity is, that's very cheeky clock. Creativity is intelligence having fun. Very short and succinct quote. Creativity is intelligence having fun. If you develop creative personality, it's highly likely that you will be confident also and you will be extrovert also. Develop some hobbies, do the things which you fear, and then you will do them first. They say, what is the full form of fear? Face everything and rise, right? There are a lot of subjects in our curriculum, and we were a bit fearful about them. Let's not deny the fact. So my tutor told me that if you fear about any of the subject, any of the concept, approach them right away. Don't think much. So they said that if you do the things first about what you fear the most, your fear will go away immediately. Negative perception, I said, one of the barriers that we feel that networking is not for me, it's not important, which I explained. Unpleasant experience about a person. So before 5 years, I connected with my friends and I really felt that no, he's not up to the mark. I don't want to associate with him. Friends, you have to be flexible. If you really need him or her, be flexible. Don't compromise on your self-esteem at any cost. But please understand that past can be changed. He was behaving in a particular way because of some factors which may have impacted his behavior. It does not mean that necessarily he will behave in the same manner even today. So don't have that preconceived notion about a matter also. So we feel that, whomever I approach for valuation practice, I've always failed. I'm not able to forge the collaboration. No, approach another person. There is always a way. Maybe you're not approached in the right manner, let's say. So these are the not being able to break the ice. So for that, you need a good preparation. Always don't hesitate to take help of a common acquaintance for that matter. Can help your common friend. You have to crack the layer. Very important is the last one, that not being able to seek help. Because we are a very senior section of society, very intellectual section of society, we are always ready to help others, and it's very good thing. Okay. But how about when we need help? Have you ever introspected? How many people you will reach out when you need help? Very important for us to understand. Don't hesitate to reach out also, because sometimes there are a lot of barriers. We feel that I know everything. It's a syndrome. Even the person who is junior than you, सीए में तो वैसे कुछ जूनियर सीनियर होता ही नहीं है, हमको सबको पता है कभी कौन सीनियर बन जाता है, जूनियर हो जाता है, we don't know. Okay, it happens. It's not that. So please don't hesitate to reach out to the person who is even junior than you in age and stature. Seek their help. I have myself benefited a lot, not only from the younger generation of chartered accountants, despite I'm having 20 years of experience, but also from my mentees, and I say them openly. Okay. Only one party is at benefit. A big barriers in networking, right? It's all about win-win situation. It's all about give and take. My father has taught me, my late father, okay, that he used to tell me that better relationship is always give and take. But always remember that giving comes the first. And when you give, don't expect for taking. A very, very essence of the networking. We'll touch upon it in a brief manner later on. As I mentioned, other party is younger in age. Okay, age is a very big factor. I'm 41 years age. If I have to network with someone, if I need something from someone who is, let's say, 28 years old, I will feel that no, I am having 20 years of experience. Why I will go out to them? Even if I will not gain anything, even if I'm likely to lose by not networking, I will not do it. Don't do it, right? Other party again is a very high in stature. So then we have our own self-doubt, right? That how I will approach them is too big. My friends, one day he was also same like you. Okay. कोई 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 लोग का तो कोई दिन पहला होता है, हिंदी में ऐसा बोलते हैं, राइट? किसी ना किसी ने पहली बार कुछ ना कुछ किया है. So, all have risen through the ranks. So never, have your self-esteem get compromised if you happen to interact with someone who is very high in stature. Okay, definitely he or she will help you out. Be humble with them. Express gratitude also if needed. Be humble at all costs. Express humility. Humility is the cornerstone of leadership, as they say. Okay, but always don't hesitate to reach out to them. Again, I like to repeat this. किसी ना किसी ने जिंदगी में कोई ना कोई काम तो पहली दफा किया ही होता है. Okay. Not knowing where to meet right people, you got to do enough research about your resources. Unconducive group dynamics. There are also cross-cultural barriers. Okay, I'll just touch upon it in a later slide. So when the group dynamics are unconducive, are not favorable, you are dealing with the cross-cultural people. You have to be very, very careful. Now, second last one is the pressure that I have to network. So from tomorrow you will think, Mr. Nilep has told us to network and I have to network now. Anyhow, I have to network. How I will network? No, don't do like this. It's not a quick fix action. It's a spontaneous and natural process. Always be yourself, including with your shortcomings. They are your own shortcomings. There is one beautiful quote which I remember in this regard. You are born original. Don't die a copy. You are born original. Don't die a copy. Always be yourselves. Don't have the pressure. And lack of patience, as we all know, we all are chartered accountants. We all know that good things, good qualification take time. Digital networking is quite basic, and most of us are familiar with it. So I will just run through quickly. LinkedIn profile is very important. Create with complete details. I've often seen that individuals and firms' profiles are different. Please have, it should not be same. Please have the different profile. Even if your firm is small, friends, it's always good to have. One day it will become bigger, right? Always have the separate profile. Firm profile, you highlight your clientele, your detail, your core domain areas, all these things when you establish the firm. Individual profile, you highlight or your firm's activity on this platform. Individual profile, your own achievements, awards, and anything. Give and seek recommendation, very useful. Contribute to articles or discussion on LinkedIn. This is extremely important for you. It will also help you hone your written communication skills. Conduct polls. Some of us I have seen they're doing. Follow right people. And because we are receiving a lot of LinkedIn requests and we are accepting, we are seeking we want to add somebody. Always thank someone when they accept your request by brief message. Okay. And if you add anyone, always try to message him or her also and thank them in advance. Email. Now, this is how what I mean by email is not email etiquette. Again, I'm not a branding expert. Email is that you update on your profile. We have seen a lot of chartered accountants are sending constant updates to their connection, clients, prospective clients, future clients, even past clients, etc. Please continue to do it. Lots of WhatsApp messages coming for important deadlines. birthday, Diwali. Only 3 you should keep. Huh? Don't overdo it also, especially on social media. We have the second slide there. I have the opportunity to attend one podcast of from one of the CA who is doing there. She invited me for the podcast. There are a lot of YouTube broadcasters are like that. You can start your own podcast, interact with the successful people. See, everybody wants to be visible, right? If you feel somebody is successful, of course he will not say no, he or she, right? It will magnify, make your presence, improve your networking skill. It will help you be more visible. Now, this is a brief nuggets on netiquettes, as I said, with 2 Sanskrit quotes. Friends, social media, first of all, you have to understand, especially the younger generation, and all of us are using. I came to know, by the way, there are 3,300 attendees are attending this. My deep thanks to all of them for joining and for making this discussion worthwhile and meaningful for them as well as for me. Understand that social media always involves the perception, right? So know your audience. Some people, and without any logical reason, they will prefer social media. There are other set of people who will never prefer it. And both of them are correct, I would say. More than a reality, it's a perception. Social media is always about a perception. It's or the exercise to build the perception, that's it. Virtual platform is cost effective, except we all know, for all of us, time is money. We are money manager, but time is also money. Endless hours spending only on social media will not lead you anywhere. Sanskrit word is there, ati parichayat avagna, santad gamnat anadaraha. Means, what does mean is that excessive familiarity always breeds the contempts. Going repeatedly to anyone always causes disrespect. In this context, what does it mean? Probably you could have make out constantly soliciting someone, messaging somebody will always, bring the disrespect for you. Please don't do it. Please don't overdo on social media. It's extremely you will fail at even the first step of networking. If you use social media in an excessive manner, if you overdo it, never do it. Okay. We all know ati sarvatra varjayet, especially again true for social media, excessive use, excessive messages, even the excessive group messages, are harmful. It will not lead you anywhere. If you the higher the messages, in fact, there is a lower chances that it will even get noticed. Don't do it, please. Even for wishes, I mentioned. Ideally, you should wish your clients only on 3 occasions. Their birthday, not anniversary. I keep on saying, I don't know why. It's a highly personal matter. Only on birthday, New Year and Diwali. That's it. Only on 3 occasions you wish them. And if you are in particular region, if you are in Kerala, wish on Onam. If you are in Gujarat, like me, yes, Vijayadashmi, Uttarayan, we like it. That is the region-specific festivals. Don't wish unnecessarily on any other matter. No message, no wishes, like this. Time of posting increase time. So what you will do, if your time zones are different, let's say, if you are a part of the group, some of us are part of the group in which there are people from nearly 30 countries are there. What you will do in that case? When you will post into it? Not at 2 a.m., not at 3 a.m. In that case, you post where the majority of the members are comfortable in your time, in that time zone. Always respect the majority. So out of 300 members, let's say, if there are 200 members who are based in India, then respect that time zone, not your time zone, even if you are in Australia or New Zealand or USA, right? It's very important. Nobody likes to see the message at 3 a.m. in the night. It's very important netiquettes to understand. Use of emojis, don't do it. Highly subjective. Just one small example. What do we mean by this? Emoji. Forgiveness, thanks, prayers, and also rest in peace. Now what the other party will understand. Use of emojis, please avoid. If you do it, only do thumbs up. Even that is not required. If you are a thoroughly professional, please avoid it. It's highly subjective. The meaning is highly subjective to it. That's right. And it is also in most of the cases, casual and informal also. So brief nuggets on netiquettes. I will just touch upon the tough concepts. This is, and then you can Google this. It's very important to understand strength of the weak ties. One research is there. What are the strong ties we see? The family, the close connection, overlapping context, and same set of information. Here is this person, this is a strong ties. Now, if you have him as the reference, in the strong ties, you always have a common friend. So there is a connection between these two references. They say, as per this research and proved to be correct, that if information comes from the strong ties, it's likely to be less successful because there is an overlapping information between these two people. There is a behavioral bias which is involved also. The strong ties, as we can see, are less in numbers, but the weak ties, the whole concept of LinkedIn, it is very successful based on this concept of strength of the weak ties. Yeah, so it's very important for us to understand. And when this was, there is one beautiful book which I will give you the letter on the name of the books, but Give and Take. And Adam Rifkin has coined the concept of 5 minutes favor. The 1% top successful CEO of the world, friends, what they're doing, common thing, Can anyone answer? Not exercising. Meditation? No. Yoga? No. Reading? Probably no. Then what? They have practiced the concept called 5 minutes favor. 5 minutes in a day only 5 minutes in a day, they're helping other people. Where there is no transaction value is involved. They're helping. I do it consciously. They're helping other people just for the sake of helping. Where you don't expect anything in return in favor. Believe me, that will help you go a long way. Very nice concept is called in the book called Give and Take. You can note down 5 minute favor and then you can Google it. How you can do it? Introduce two people to each other, help them getting connected. You are just an intermediary. Again, you are being a collaborator and facilitator, a great sign of a leader. Then share some helpful article, introduce someone generously. You don't lose anything by doing so, right? So this is a very important thing to understand. 5 minutes favor and strength of weak ties. This is just a quote as we discussed it, right? Do's and don'ts of networking. Probably this is a second last segment, if I may say so, because in the interest of time, we are going, but we have a very meaningful discussion, I would say, so no issue. Do's is be well prepared about background of the people and companies, always. Second point, when we attend any event, if there are 80 people, to whom we will approach first, we'll approach only 10 people, to whom we know the most. So there is a pitfall of repetition. You don't know and you are not even likely to know the other people. Be the initiator, be the icebreaker who approach other people first. Right? It's very important. Don't hesitate to reach out to the younger ones. I learned immensely from the younger generation of chartered accountants, from my mentees, from my students. Diversify your network. So when we had some chartered account gathering or somewhere, okay, always CA wants to interact only with the CA. They say the whole CAs are that I will come. Okay, you should come. You must come. But then all are CAs. How about diversifying your network across fraternity, across regions, across the nationalities? Have you ever thought of it? It will make you a complete professional and chartered accountant, will widen your horizon. I had an honor to work with 20 nationalities early on in my career. And I still consider it as a privilege by a stroke of luck, but it's a great experience to work with so many nationalities. It sharpened my cross-cultural skills as well. And very important point for us to understand this. Always diversify your network. Don't get limited to only the particular set of people, set of communities. Reach out to as many people from diverse spectrum. So that's why when I left my first job over here, I still remember the name, but I would not like to call. One person named Rajesh. Okay, I changed the name. Or let's keep it under name, let's say. Okay, Suresh, let's keep it Suresh. Okay. So when I left my job, another national, he was not an Indian. And I quoted in my interview also. He mentioned to me that Nirlep, you will get another Suresh. But I will never get another Nirlep. So I still consider these words more than any awards or achievements sometimes. because this comes true from the heart. And see, just one or two sentences, I have not been able to forget even after 15 years or 12 years, right? And he was my junior for that. Give first always, as I told you, give and take, give always comes first. There are three kinds of people: givers, takers, and matchers. Takers, strict no. Who are the matchers? They will give something only if they expect that something will come in return, and that too immediately. Then only they will give. Don't be like this. Give generously for a long term. Be always givers. I said this about being genuine and authentic. We'll come back for dawns. Think of goals in long terms, not immediate goals. Very important for all of us to rebuild the old connections. Move on from the past. Art of networking also not only involves making new connection, but also rebuild, and re-establish the old connection. Get in touch with your school friend with whom you have not talked maybe for 15 years. Yeah, no, there is no harm to it, right? You may have to make some attempt, but please do it. Everything you cannot learn, be spontaneous also. Important point. Nowadays, carry business cards as well as your virtual card, because you don't know what is the preference of other people. So that is very important. Finally, of course, the follow-up is important. In any case, you have to follow up, keep in constant touch, but also know when gracefully exit the conversation, right? Quickly don'ts also. We have to make purpose clear, but don't start directly with the agenda. That's very bad of it. It will not lead you anywhere. It will definitely not help you connect. So yeah, I'll take the questions later. Yeah, we have it in chat box. Thank you for your questions. A lot of questions have come. Speaking only with one person, okay, not good. And especially she's of opposite gender, definitely not good. It leads you to different consequences about your impression and image. In fact, that also reminds me another quotation. Don't live to impress others. Live to make an impact on others. Don't live to impress others. Social media is all about impressing others. That's okay. But live on making an impact on others. So afraid of initial rejection, that is there. We all have our own self-doubt. We are hesitant. Always avoid controversial topics like politics and faith, even if you feel that other gentleman is of same political belief like me. Even if that is the case, please avoid at any cost till you reach that maturity level in the relationship. Gossiping, I mentioned the quote also. Always avoid discussing about others. Very important. If you miss to attend somebody's wedding, it's okay. Never miss to attend somebody, or never miss to visit someone on the sad events. So, yeah, few don'ts about the same is that the flattery and ego massaging. Okay, somehow many people do it. Okay, they just do. There is a difference between flattery and appreciation, by the way. Be genuine and sincere in your appreciation. Never miss to appreciate someone. But please don't do flattery. आप तो ऐसे अरे क्या हो गया क्या, and don't do ego massaging. Okay. At first point, you will be proved to be subservient to that person if you do it. You will, आप उसकी नजर से गिर जाओगे पहले ही स्टेज पे. Connect only when we need something and forget otherwise. It will not lead to the long-term relationship. Overly self-promote. Okay, we should self-promote us, but that should not be the only goal. And that is closely related to is the monopolize the conversation. When we talk with someone, we only speak about ourselves, even if not only self-promotion, but something only about ourselves, and we only talk. Don't monopolize the conversation. Social media is, again, I said, it's an impression, it's a perception, it's not a reality. Don't go only by social media. Go by it, but don't go only by social media. So next slides. I don't have many now. So yeah. Networking in non-networking events. We are not meeting someone for professional purpose. We are meeting on weddings, parties, community events. How do we network? Main rule is that, okay, always help them, even if it is for a small gesture. I still know when I go to India, many people help me, even in calling the Uber for that matter, because sometimes we don't have Indian number. What you will do? You do need that app on your Indian number, right? Many people help me. A very small gesture, right? He or she doesn't lose anything. I still remember it, right? Second is very important. Don't enforce the professional discussion. Right away, if you attend somebody's wedding, parties or gathering, don't just start talking about your profession. Believe me, वहां भी यही होता है. Professional discussion तो होता ही है. Of course it will happen. But let it flow from other party. You don't initiate it. Otherwise, that party will lose the interest. Let it come from other. Don't enforce it, So others are humor I have covered. Yeah. These are the trust is a cornerstone of networking. Talk often. Relationship is a key. Understanding. Sanguine. Be cheerful always. Positive despite any adversity. Keep on smiling. Transparency, extremely important, especially for chartered accountants. Right? We have to have transparent in all our dealing at all cost. Don't hide nothing under the table. Somehow, by nature, we keep things confidential. But then we also compromise on the transparency. That's a pitfall of keeping things confidential. Confidentiality is very good, but not at the cost of lack of transparency. Not at the cost of transparency. This is just a brief model. I know the timing. We're just finishing within 2 minutes. Vision, VCP model they call visibility, credibility, and profitability. You can Google it, VCP model. First, you have acquaintance, you just have few interaction. Then you establish the reliability and credibility, right? How you can do the networking in organization? So on this special purpose committee, for those who are into industry like me. We had one committee, fixed asset disposal committee. Okay, you saw on that committee. Cross-functional task force, learn from somebody who's from procurement, from marketing, help them. I mentioned about sector-specific events. Attend the special days conducted by your organization. Family day, any charity, that kind of day. Attend family meetup, either done by your organization. Develop family relationship, especially those who are into your closed network. Meet with family, ask for feedback, mentor, train, and help in. Okay. Networking profession, how you can do it. Attend the event on conference like this. You all are attending since 2 hours, right? Central committees event and all these things. There are also a lot of projects on which you can collaborate and contribute, right? On initiative of above. Then apart from ICI, there are also Chartered Accountant Association, tax practitioner. These are all for majority of the members who are CAs in practice. Industry specific events, so on the Chamber of Commerce and Industry. We mentioned about e-newsletter, lead and so on the community-based or religious organization, if you like to do it. How you can expand your network within the community. Member of social clubs, Rotary, Lions in India, Toastmasters clubs for public speaking. I had an opportunity to be the finance head or auditor of many of the community organization. Please be that. Find out. Nobody, see, nothing will come on plate. Okay, you have to grab the opportunity. Nobody will tell, okay, yeah, you be the. No, it's not like that. Okay. Mentor the student, those who are CA aspirants, CA students. Go to your school where you studied. Tell them that I am a chartered accountant. Everybody respect this qualification immensely in our country and elsewhere also. Group dynamics, it's a very vast subject. These are just a few slides of forming, storming, norming, and performing of team building. You can Google it. I told about this creativity. So creativity is, intelligence having fun. So there's a cartoon. Let's end with humor. So he said that I'm an accountant. I'm not a novelist. Why am I required to be creative? You got to be creative if you want to diversify your network, if you sharpen your networking skill. Final slides. This is before we take a question. Friends, only networking will not lead you anywhere. Networking skill is like a zero. It is not valued alone. But if combined with other digit, the value increases exponentially. So is your net worth. Make your profile stronger. Extremely important to have a sector specific or domains that you got to be expert in tax, valuation, internal, and you all are. But I'm just mentioning, some people are doing or they have this myth that I will do only networking. No. Practical experience, embrace technology, and upskilling. Please, this is very important slide. Don't do only networking. Okay, you got your time, allocate your time to other activities also, which help you professionally. This is so finally the quote is there. Quotable quote. If you are not networking, you are not working. If you are not networking, you are not working. So networking is very essential part of the working itself. And these 3 books, I would thank you with this name of these 3 books. You can mention, you can remember it. Never Eat Alone by Keith Ferrari. Give and Take, I mentioned about Adam Greft, in which the 5 minutes, very important concept of 5 minutes offer was mentioned, and Strategic Connection. There are lots of other books also. It's easy to get the books. It's difficult to read the books, isn't it? So, but you should read the books, develop reading habit. I'm there. This is my number, my email ID. And now we can have the question. I will just show this slides. Yeah. Yeah. Can I have some question in the chat box? How can I?
In the morning.
CA Rahul, you are there? 1 minute. Hello. Hello.
Good
Hello.
afternoon. It seems there is some disturbance.
Yeah. I have some.
You can ask the questions.
CA Sambit,
Yes,
Dr. Sambit, now they have sent me a question in chat box. Can I take it in 2 minutes?
No,
Is it okay?
that one is you have the reference point. Right now, CA N Thangavel can ask the questions. He has the set of the questions.
Yeah, but he has already asked in the chat box. So can I take it? Okay.
yes,
So,
yes, sir. You can start with
yeah. So first is,
question.
can we register our service on platform like JD? Yes, you can do it. Can we mention our service along with your YouTube service? Please, you can mention. I am not commenting on the rules and the provision which is governed by Chartered Accountants Act and Regulation and Code of Ethics. Please be abide by that. We are into profession. We are not doing business. I mean CS. What is the difference with business and profession? That we got to abide by ethical rules and practices. So if something is not allowed by CA rules or the ethical standards, please don't do it. Okay. Third question is that how to communicate with others in a most acceptable and effective manner. See, thank you for this question. It's an inherent skill which we all have to sharpen and learn continuously. But to answer your question is that first, please learn how to listen others. Okay. And then probably you can learn something about body gesture, because they say that 70% of what you communicate comes from your non-verbal gesture, your body language, and your voice, etc. But if I were to answer it, it's a continuous skill, not very complicated, but you have to do it consistently. But still, if I were to answer your question that how to be acceptable, how to be accepted and respected, for that, please be good at listening to others, and also have some idea about the non-verbal gesture, body language and all. Like when I was smiling, probably a meaningful smile at certain place, you all liked it, right? When I was looking at camera continuously, you all liked it because this is the way that how I can connect with you. It is this medium which is as equivalent to the eyeball to eyeball movement which I explained earlier, right? So always look into other person's eyes. दूसरों की आंख में आंख डालकर बात करो. How to convert your network into client and get business? So by all these skills, my friend, you can, whatever context you have, okay, start communicating with them, apply all these skills in a conscious manner, in a systematic manner, in a purposeful manner. Conscious, systematic, and purposeful manner. Reach out to them, communicate with them. Ensure you will be able to convert your leads into the opportunities and be able to leverage upon them, either in forging the alliance, collaboration, or referrals with other CAs, or in getting new opportunities for your own. These are all, my friends, these are all time-tested methods It's not that somebody has written just 2 years back and I'm speaking. Some of the research have been done 50 years back, like they were from US. So, they were contested, they were challenged. Multiple research have gone into it, tested, and then these are all time tested theories, doctrines, and concepts. Yes, network is our network, but in practically possible in our India, anywhere sharing network, I'm ready. But how to arrive at the cost? Network is your net worth. It means that network, if I understand your question correctly, network is your real asset through which you can monetize your practice. You can quantify the same. Yeah, it's quite possible. A lot of people are doing in India also. In fact, people in India as a practitioner, as a chartered accountant, are much more advanced. Not because they are CAs, but also because of the rigorous trading and standards. Trading, as they are much more advanced in knowledge, in attitude, than their peers, than other accounting professions, I would say. Sir, you explained the everything about platform, way to network, but somehow when we trying to network, it ends up being more of a purpose for deliberate effort, which is often a forced one. How can I improve upon? I think if you see some of the slides, my friend, then you will understand it that you should always do the networking in a purposeful and spontaneous manner. For you, I would tell you in a spontaneous manner. Okay, don't enforce, don't have that pressure that because Mr. Nirlep has said, C. Nirlep has said, networking, let's do some tomorrow. Tomorrow, 9 to 10, I will do only networking. So you will have that pressure within you. Anyhow, you have to do it. And then you will start enforcing the skill in an artificial manner to others, which will not lead you anywhere. Okay, don't have that pressure of networking. Just do networking in a simple manner, purposeful. But whatever you do it with a positive mindset and do it consistently. Consistency counts always. Okay. Fresher Chartered Accountant want to join Karnataka State Chartered Accountant Association. Yes, a very prominent body. I wish to get professional assignment to other established CAs and firm. Any pointers for CA people like me? Okay. So what you can do, you can join KCAA. There are a lot of other CA association also I have seen where CAs are serving as an office bearer. Okay. Then you will get in contact with other CA who are there in KCA, let's say. You joined it, right? Start attending their events. Reach out to them that I want this help. Learn to seek out for help. And definitely, they will also help you and connect with them. Not just when you need something or when you connect with them, don't next day ask something that I have connected you, I have befriended you because I need this. No, don't do it. Slowly and gradually, it will definitely lead you in getting greater opportunities for you, a big assignment as well. So I think these are the question, and I think Mr. Thangavel I answered in a manner, right? So I think now you can go to vote of thanks or any feedback anybody can share. No issue.
I am requesting CA Thangabel to render the vote of thanks.
Thank you, sir. To all the participants, on behalf of the Coimbatore branch of SIRC of ICI, I thank the Central Council member and the Chairman of Professional Skills Enrichment Committee, CA Dr. Anuj Goyal, our Southern Region Central Council member and energetic Sri Priya ma'am, who happens to be the Vice Chairman of the Professional Skills Enrichment Committee, and the speaker for the day. So you made the members' networking skills a few notches higher. We are looking forward to hear from you more in the coming days. Thank you, sir. Despite being there abroad in Qatar, taking time from your regular work and speaking to us, we are very happy about it, sir. We take a pride and privilege in having hosted you on behalf of the Coimbatore branch. Thank you, sir. I also thank Dr. Sambit Kumar Mishra, who coordinated for this event, and the technical support team, and all the participants for taking part in today's event. Today, we had close to around 2,500 participants from all over India.
Thank you.
I thank the committee for giving us this opportunity We are looking forward to have much more events in the future. Thank you, sir.
Can I, Dr. Sambit, can I just speak a word for you and others also?
Yeah, no issue.
Yeah. My session should not end again without expressing my sincere gratitude to CA Dr. Anuj Goyal, sir, committee chairman and vice chairperson CS Priya madam, for effectively laying the path, giving me the opportunity, help me interact with you all. I'm deeply thankful to Dr. Sambit Kumar Mishra, the committee secretary, and his entire team for tech support. There are a lot of, as I said, chartered accountants from nearly 10 countries and from 20 overseas chapters have attended this session. I thank all the chairman and managing committee, my fellow past chairman. I also thank the branch heads, branch chairman, and their managing committee in India for staying there tuned for 2 hours. There are a lot of messages I am getting of gratitude, of thank on my mobile. I'm always accessible, available to serve you all, to help you all, and to learn from you all. Most important. Thank you so much. With deep gratitude.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you to all.
Thank you.